Yeah, I'm glad you asked that first because I want to address it and be done with it. Like, I love Antonio. He knows that. We spent time with each other, family, all of the above, right? I can go on and on, right? He's not here. He plays for somebody else. I wish him the best. I hope he goes off and gets everything he wants. Send him a text, and it says, hey, I wish you the best. I hope you get what you want, you know. And there's no hurt feelings. There's no anger in me. There wasn't any anger in me when I found out, to be honest with you, despite what some people wrote. Some people saw me right after and thought that I was mad at that when Everett can tell you we were talking about something totally different, which, again, if you don't have all the details, you go out there and just write something about me. I don't like that. He's gone. I wish him the best. I hope that we can talk about Darren Waller and what he's overcome. Hopefully we can talk about Tyrell Williams being the number one receiver. Hopefully we can talk about no sacks against that defense. Hopefully we can talk about our rookies and the way that they played on defense. Vontez Burfict looking like an all-pro middle linebacker, which we tried to tell everybody these things all off-season. You know, we weren't just blowing smoke. And sorry to take your question and run with it, but, you know, we had a good football team even when he wasn't there. We knew if we added him, my goodness, that could be crazy because he's so good as a football player. But he's not here. And when it happened, it was like, okay, honestly, it wasn't the same feeling when Khalil got traded. I just put it at that. It was not the same feeling. It was like, okay, at least the questions are done, right? At least we have answers, right? And it stung as a friend having to see him go somewhere else. But again, I wish Antonio the best. And even if, you know, whatever feelings, I don't even think he has hard feelings towards anybody. He just wanted a different place, right? And so I wish him the best. I hope he gets everything he wants. Wish his family and his children the best. Love the guy, had fun. Practices were really fun. You know, we had a whole bunch of touchdowns in practice. Get to tell my kids that someday that I threw to him and all those kind of things. But, you know, we're moving on, and we have a good football team, and I'm really, really, really happy to be a part of this team because it's really, really close, and we're like a family.
What kind of impact did his absence have tonight on everybody else?
Yeah, so, again, I was going to address it one time, and again, I love you, man. I just don't want to get into it anymore. You know, he's gone. He's with a new team, and I can promise you when we took the field, it was, here we go. We've been practicing all training camp with this group of guys. We've been practicing all, off season with this group of guys. We've been running certain plays for certain reasons. Let's just play football.
How big against this team was the constant string of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3 against, Miller and Chubb that have to be able to slow that down?
Yeah, it's really tough, right? There's been, going into my 6th year, I'm on the other side of the half a decade now, right? It's pretty funny. It's a lot of football. I've played against Vaughn, and before it was Chubb, it was DeMarcus Ware, which was, again, not too fun. But when you get in those situations against that defense, against that front, against that coordinator, head coach, Coach Fangio, 3rd and shorts are going to be just gritty, tough, hard-nosed. I like to call them Pat Hill football downs. And some of you will enjoy that one who remember Pat. But when you get in those situations, you look at a guy like Trent Brown and Denzel Good and how much mass of men that is downhill, and you're like, we got a good running back, we got a good fullback. I think we should run behind those guys. And then we come back and we can do it the other way too, behind Colton, who's beefed up, and Devi, and Rodney just does his thing in the middle. So being able to pick those things up were the difference in the game, to be honest with you, because we don't now we're punting, right? And a lot of big plays came after picking up 3rd and shorts, even the 3rd and short where we threw it. Yeah. Great protection, but that's another one where we don't pick those up. It's a different ballgame.
How key was Josh, Derek, in terms of keeping Bradley and Vaughn honest?
Yeah, huge. And he did a great job all night with his. I told him, I said, don't ever worry about how many yards you run for. Worry about the style of running you do. That's one thing I learned from Marshawn Lynch. Never cared about how many yards he had. Never cared about how many touches or touchdowns. But when he touched the ball, he's going to make sure everyone else felt him. And that's how he controlled the game. And I told Josh that, and I'm not taking credit for that. He already does that, but I just encouraged him, okay? He did a great job of just running physical and putting his pads down, making people hit him, where they don't want to hit him. He would lower his center of gravity and make them hit all of him instead of getting some cheap shots on him, and did a great job. Again, let's not forget this, that in the 4-minute drill, him not fumbling, right? Von Miller is the best at stripping running backs from behind. And he got picked up and slammed on his head one time, but he held on to the ball. And he gave the ball to the official. And so I think those are key winning moments. You know what I mean? Those are key things from a rookie running back that you're like, man, I'm really, really glad that we got that guy.
John Morton talked all offseason about how maybe Tyrell went over receiver even before
Bless you.
he came in. What he did today sort of show the fact that he has that.
Absolutely, against good corners. Against Yiadam, who's a good, talented young corner, against Chris Harris, who obviously you guys know I think the world of. Every game, every ball you throw against him is a tight window. And he did it against really good competition. And I told you guys from day one when we got Trent Brown, that was Christmas. And then when we got Tyrell Williams, I was like, I don't even know there's nothing better than Christmas, but this feels pretty good. You know what I mean? I got 2 big gifts this year. And, that guy proved today that he can do that at a high level. And the best part about him is he's just a great guy. He's a great guy, fun to work with. He came out to Bakersfield. A lot of y'all been there, say, why would he come? That's just the kind of guy he is, right? He went down to Bakersfield and worked with me, and I appreciate it. It's paying off.
Last one looking at here in Oakland, what did you think about the atmosphere from the crowd tonight?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Make some of y'all laugh a little bit, but when I don't think people really know how much I love this place. When I woke up this morning, came into the stadium, and I saw that gold patch, that gold C on the Raider jersey, saw my name on it, already knew this is the last time we'll play the Broncos in the state Monday night. Like, I had a tear in my eye for the first time, okay, during football, right? A lot of people like to say I cried last year. We won't talk about that, right? But I really did. This means so much to me. Kenny Stabler, Tim Brown, Charles Woodson. The list goes on and on. Freddie B. I mean, you talk about everybody. And to think that we get to be a part of the team that's the last team that gets to play here, like, that's pretty special.
Derek, it's a good secondary, right? Last
Yeah.
year, 80% against them, and tonight, totally the receiving core, and you're like 85%. What is it about your success against Denver?
I just give all the coaches credit for pushing me and teaching me the system at an expedited rate, so that I could play fast and be efficient. I got a lot of funny things I could say, but I won't do that.
Derek, late in the game, you were talking to the official and you pointed out that they clock. Was there something going on with the radio?
Yeah, I told the official, actually, every time that little, what's it called, the sky cam? Yeah. Every time that sky cam would get close to us, my headset would go out. And so I don't know if it was a radio for a frequency kind of thing. I don't know. But for whatever reason, and that may not even be the reason, right? But I just noticed every time it would get close, it would cut out and I couldn't hear Coach. And so I would hear like a syllable of what he was calling. I knew who was in the game so I could call the plays. But every time, so that's when I had to tell the ref. I was like, I don't know who to tell, but we need to at least just move it back. I know that's a fun view for the cameras and for the fans, but I need the play to make it more fun.
Derek, it's one game, but how much can you guys build off a win like this?
Yeah, a lot. We're going to watch the film. I'm going to watch my footwork. I'm going to watch my eyes. I'm not into how many passes we completed, no offense to that question. I'm into the ones I did miss. Why did I miss them? How can I do that better? That's what if you grade out just random numbers, you grade out at 80% or 90%. What's the 20 or the 10% I messed up on? Tell me that and I'll get it better, And that's what I'm into. And that's why I love our coaches, because they definitely harp on those things.
Last one.
Yeah, I loved it, right? I think we all in here, everybody, roots for Darren Waller, right? I think everyone roots for that. I told him, I kid you not, when I sat there at my house and I watched his, story come out on Hard Knocks, I sat there with tears in my eyes because I was like, how many people that helps for him to be that vulnerable? I said, that's unbelievable. That blesses my life to see someone that vulnerable and that open. Like it wasn't hard for him. He was just talking, telling people his story. Imagine if everyone could open up like that. How many more people could get help? How many more people we could help, right? And then to know that story, and then to watch this man come on Monday Night Football and make these crazy plays, right? I mean, you have to root for that guy. I think we all do, and I think that he's become a fan favorite and one of the favorites in the league. For a lot of young kids, and for a lot of adults too, to look up to him. That he could be that young, and that honest and that open. And I told him the next day I saw him, I said, bro, that you don't know how many people that story, your story, is going to bless and help and change their life. Maybe today they go and ask for help today. You know, maybe now they finally realize, man, if he could do it, I could do it. You know, and that right there, to see him now transition and be the professional football player, not trying to get cut, right? He's a professional football making plays on Monday Night Football, starting tight end for the Oakland Raiders. I think it's a powerful thing, and I think that needs to be talked about more.